Hello class. Now we'll see how the DC CDI are exactly working and what is the construction of the DC CDI. Okay. So previously we have seen AC CDI, and the main difference between AC and DC CDI is that here you can see there is a two power source are connected to the CDI unit. The one power source is nothing but our battery, and the second power source is nothing but our AC generator. Okay, so this is our first power source, and this is our second power source. That is a AC generator. And in case of the previous diagram, you can see there is only one power source, that is AC generator are used, because definitely we should require one power source whose power get step up into the step up transformer that is inside the ignition coil. Okay, so similarly here we are having the two power source connected parallelly to our CDI unit. So technically we can see it is a AC DC CDI also, or we can say it's DC CDI, because AC and DC DC and AC both power feed into the what we can say inside the CDI unit. But here AC generator is giving the power, but due to this unit called rectifier and regulator, that AC power generated by ACG get converted into DC, and DC get feed into the CDI unit. So here if I cut the battery supply here, then due to ACG vehicle may on. Okay, and if I cut this generator that AC generator, suppose I cut this wire of ACG, then also my CDI unit will work and ignition will take place. So this is the advantage of this system, means without battery you can run your vehicle on the basis of AC generator, that is magneto power generation. Or if your AC generator get fail, by using battery you can keep your vehicle on. Okay, and in case of the previous, if AC generator get fail, no battery supply or power other auxiliary power supply gets supplied to the ignition coil, so battery is not connected here. Okay, as a power source. So here you have to completely rely on this AC generator. So that's why it's called AC CDI unit, in which we are step upping the AC current only. Okay, and here we are having a both source, that is battery source as well as the AC generator. So now we will see the construction. Here the battery is connected and here AC generator is connected, but the battery current is already DC supply, so there is no any rectifier connected in series with the battery. Okay, but in case of the ACG, that is AC generator, you will found there is a rectifier and register unit, regulator unit is connected in series, means rectifier is used to convert that AC current developed by your generator into DC, and regulator is used to regulate the voltage, means the as your RPM of the AC generator are fluctuating. Okay, so it sometime it develop high voltage, sometime it develop a low voltage, so that voltage should be need to be regulate. Okay, otherwise your CDI unit may burn or may damage, or uh, why damage it will see further, because here two step up transformer is, here is a one step up transformer and there is a second step up transformer. In case previous year there is no any step up transformer used inside the CDI, it is only one step up transformer, that is ignition coil. But in case of this CDI, here we are using a two step up transformer, this one and the this one. Okay, so if it develop 400 volt and that 400 volt gets applied to this step up transformer, you get further step up, that 400 become 4000 here, and further it become uh, 4000 become more than 20k or 30k. And even though this capacitor get burned due to that high voltage, because it having capacity 400 volt to 500 volt or 300 volt to 400 volt, and it get supply 4000 or it get burned. So because of that, here we require the regulator at high speed, it generate the high voltage, so that should be a regulate, and it develop AC current that should be rectified by into DC. So DC supply we are giving inside the CDI unit. This is our diode which control the flow of current or direction of flow of current. Okay, it prevent the reverse or backward flow of current. Okay, so current always flow in this direction, as the arrow shown as shown in the figure. After that, there is a step up transformer are used here. Electrolytic capacitor are used. This electrolytic capacitor are used to charge, used to hold a charge whenever negative cycle of AC generator is taken. Negative cycle means the time at which north pole come in front of the stator winding. That's stator winding, or we can say the charging winding, or we can say exciter winding, which we have seen previously in case of the DC CDI. Okay, so this electrolytic capacitor are used for that purpose. After that, here step up transformer are used, as we have said. Even 4000 it develop a plus 400 volt supply. Okay, even it develop 400 volt supply. We have regulate that voltage. Okay, up to 12 to 15 volt. Due to voltage regulator, we are bringing that high much developed voltage by AC generator to 15 volt. Okay, and here we are getting the DC 15 volt supply from the AC generator. Battery is our 12 volt, so battery is continuously supplying our 12 volt supply. But in case of the AC, it is not like it only give you the 400 volt. Sometimes it may generate a 500 volt also, dependent on the RPM. So on that basis, here we are using a regulator which regulate this AC generator output to 50 note, and rectifier converted into DC. So here we are using the regulator and rectifier. Here we are having the one more thing. This is called as a throttle position sensor input. Okay, we will see what how it work for in next video. But here it is connected. Okay, after this step up transformer, the step up transformer are used to step up this 15 volt DC supply from ACG, or 12 volt battery supply from DC supply from battery to 400 volt. Okay, this 400 volt get developed in the secondary winding here, and this is a diode which help this again control the direction of flow of current. Okay, capacitor get charged. Okay, till capacitor get charged, no any EMF develop the, or it's not like that. Magnetic field did not develop in the primary winding. It is developed, but the strength of the primary magnetic field developed in the primary winding is very low. Okay, and due to that, no any considerable amount of voltage get developed in a secondary winding, so that is not sufficient to develop a spark during that time, during the charging cycle of the this capacitor. Okay, so once okay, working we will see in later video. Focus on the construction. So this is a capacitor. Okay, after the capacitor there is a primary winding, that is primary circuit of ignition coil, and again come back to your this way, back to the diode. Okay, so this current this thing may be entered through this way also, or this, but here transistor is there, so it the way of current flow stuck here. This may possible to pass through this way also, but again here it may go here, either diode is there. Okay, so it may stuck, so current will or circuit will complete in this way only. Okay, so in that way current circuit may complete in order to charge the capacitor. Okay, after that there is a one more thing is there, that is this transistor or the SCR, sorry. Okay, this is silicon control rectifier, which having three legs. This is the first leg, second leg, and this one is the third leg. Okay, and the third leg, we are having the triggering unit. Okay, through control circuit. Okay, this control circuit having number of input like engine RPM, like throttle position sensor, like engine coolant temperature sensor. Okay, so in that way it having the number of input, at the same time it having the input from the triggering, or we can say pulse coil, the pulse coil which is located on the magnet. As I told you, it is located over here. Okay, that peak is there, and pickup coil is here. Okay, so similarly in this video, image also we are just taking out this pickup coil here. This is negative earth, and this is somewhat connected here. So this thing is nothing but this one. Okay, so this is a pickup coil, and the pickup coil trigger also input is taken into the control circuit. Engine temperature sensor input taken into the control circuit. After that engine speed taken into the control circuit. After the throttle position sensors input take into the control circuit. Calculation or processing take place on that. okay, and the whatever the result are coming out that match with the engine map and respective time of triggering before the top dead center, okay, at the end of the compression stroke it decided, and respective pulse are sent to this third leg of the SCR. As soon as SCR receives the pickup here, okay, so discharging cycle completed. So in this way this thing are constructed. So this is the unit battery, it's called as a voltage source. This is a secondary voltage source, that is a ACG, okay. This is a regulator or RR unit, regulator and rectifier unit, in order to convert this AC supply into DC and regulate the output voltage which is going to the CDI. This is diode in order to control the direction of flow of current. This is the electrolyte capacitor which help to charge or during the negative cycle of the ACG. After that, this is a step up transfer which help to step up that 15 volt from the ACG and or 12 volt from the battery to 400 volt. After that 400 volt uh, direction of this diode control the direction of that 400 volt current, okay. After that, this is a capacitor which is supposed to charge, okay. After that, this is the ignition coil, this is the primary winding, this is secondary winding, and this is your ignition sorry, spark plug which is located inside the combustion chamber. So this is your overall construction what we have in case of the DC CDI, or you can say it is a AC DC CDI also, okay. As I told you, the advantage of this CDI is that in absence of the battery it can work, in failure of the AC generator it can work, okay. But in case of the previous, that is AC CDI, failure of generator and the presence of battery, if both condition come same time, CDI will not work, okay. Battery will not battery not taking a part into ignition action in case of the AC CDI, but in case of the DC CDI, battery as well as AC generator also taking a part into our CDI unit. And there are some ignition systems are there, okay, which is of AC CDI, which is of AC CDI kind, okay. But then also there are there are some we can say condition are making some such a condition are they are making, so battery is needed there. Means even though those are AC CDI, then also battery is needed. Even battery are not holding the 12 volt charge, it holding some 11 volt charge or near to dead, then also ignition system work. But if we remove this 11 volt battery, okay, from that vehicle of AC CDI type, then vehicle supposed to won't start. Means battery is needed, whether it is dead or live it doesn't matter, but some charge it should hold near to 11.6 to 12.6 volt, okay. But battery is needed. So in those cases, those vehicle control unit taking input from various sensors, okay. Engine controls sorry engine temperature engine coolant temperature sensor, throttle position sensor, or engine RPM sensor. So from those they are taking input. So even though they are having the control unit, okay, so to work control unit what we can say effectively or without any fluctuation of voltage supply, we should require the battery, okay. So in those cases, even though those vehicle are AC CDI type, then also we have to ensure that battery is there. Not necessary battery should be full charge in order to have a self start, or it is not necessary it should have a strength to rotate a self starter motor. It is sufficient to have a minimum, if it has sufficient or we can say minimum voltage also or charge also, your vehicle supposed to start, okay. So this type of this is the advantage of our DC CDI, okay. So because of that only the most of the vehicle now coming in the market are of DC CDI only. They are try to avoid the AC CDI system, okay. Still here we have completed the construction. If you feel any difficulty to understand this concept, ask me on Google Classroom. Thank you.